Women in New York can now buy birth control without a prescription. What this means for reproductive rights in the state.
Plus, tenants and those experiencing homelessness calling for lawmakers to pass good cause eviction. What protections they're pushing for.
Donald Trump is running out of options and time to secure nearly $500 million. I'm Christine Frizzell in Washington with why some legal experts now say the ruling is unconstitutional.
CBS 6 News starts now.
Good evening. As of today, any woman in the state of New York can walk into any pharmacy and purchase birth control without a prescription.
Governor Hochul made the announcement saying it isn't just about the convenience, but about the values of our state. CBS 6's Ashley Kusakonki reports.
This is a big...
Authorities now investigating the death of an inmate in the Saratoga County Jail. 43-year-old David Labuda was arrested Monday for illegal possession of a gun and drug possession charges. Deputies found him alone in his cell last night just after 7 p.m. He was pronounced dead there after life-saving measures did not work. The sheriff's office and the state attorney general's office now conducting an investigation. An autopsy has not yet been scheduled. At the Capitol today, tenants and those experiencing homelessness rallied for the passing of good cause eviction. Housing rights and affordable housing, a hot topic for the governor and lawmakers as they build their budget. CBS 6's Emma Quinn reports. Governor Kathy Hochul extending home heating assistance for low and middle income New Yorkers struggling to pay their energy bills. The Home Energy Assistance Program will now accept regular and emergency applications through April 12th. Households already receiving a winter emergency benefit can apply for additional benefits if facing a utility shutoff or lack of heating fuel. Applications can be submitted online, through the mail, or in person. Older adults can contact their local office for the aging or the New York Connects helpline at the number on your screen. And former President Donald Trump has less than 1 week to come up with more than $450 million. It's a bond he needs to post so he can appeal a civil fraud judgment he's facing in New York. This as he also runs for president. Here's national correspondent Christine Frizzell with the case against him and why some legal scholars say the judgment is unconstitutional.
How can you run for election?
Well, still to come this half hour, we are weeks away from the solar eclipse.
Where to find the special glasses you need and what to look for when you go to buy those glasses to view the event.
And coming up in sports, UAlbany women's lacrosse in the Dome for a battle with Syracuse. Could the Great Danes pull off the upset?
And we do have more snow showers in our most immediate future and potentially in the slightly longer term, a more widespread accumulating snow. Looking at all the wintry weather prospects coming our way over the next few days after the break.
Now the buzz is certainly in the air about the upcoming April 8th eclipse.
Yeah, it's a big talker. The only thing needed is yourself and, of course, solar eclipse glasses. Meteorologist Sam Copeland details how they work and where you can get them.
Well, I think by now you may have...
In honor of National Reading Month, CBS 6 is proud to partner with Sinclair Broadcast Group, and reading is fundamental to support children's literacy. 1 in 3 children entering kindergarten lack the basic skills they need to learn to read. Sinclair Care, supporting children's literacy, seeks to create awareness and help get books into the hands of children across the country. To join the virtual book drive, scan the QR code on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com. Just $4 can put a new book into the hands of a child. Well, sports is next, but first, here's a look at what's ahead at 5:30.
New York's cannabis rollout has been anything but smooth. You know that. What Governor Hochul wants to do to make it easier for pot shops to open.
Plus, why social media companies are being sued in connection to the 2022 Buffalo mass shooting.
All right, thank you. The 2 most beautiful words in the English language, opening day.
All right, there we go.
It's almost here. All right, getting a retail cannabis license has been hard to come by in the state of New York.
What Governor Hochul is now calling for to improve the cannabis rollout.
Federal prosecutors...
First at 5:30, your top stories and your weather headlines. Here is what you need to know.
Beginning today, any woman in New York can purchase birth control from a pharmacy. There's 3 different kinds, and more than 85% of pharmacies will participate. This just a day after Opill, the first over-the-counter birth control pill, began sales online for purchase.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams facing a sexual assault lawsuit from 1993 while he worked at the city police department. The accuser says Adams offered to drive her home and talk about her problems, but instead drove her to a vacant lot and exposed himself and asked her for oral sex. Adams denies the allegations and says he does not know the accuser.
Tenants and homeless New Yorkers rallying to pass good cause eviction. Advocates are looking for protection from unfair rent hikes and unjust evictions. Tenants are also asking for lawmakers to pass the housing voucher program. In-depth coverage on all of these stories online. Just head to CBS6Albany.com.
Well, cannabis retail licenses continue to be pretty hard to come by.
Now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she wants a report on how to improve the Office of Cannabis Management. Connor Wright reports.
Approaching the 3-year anniversary.
Facebook, YouTube, and Reddit facing a lawsuit over their alleged role in the extremism of a racist mass shooter. A New York State judge denying the company's motion to dismiss the suit. It accuses them of profiting off of the racist and violent material the then 18-year-old shooter consumed. He's charged with killing 10 black people at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York in 2022. The platforms argue they work to remove extremist content. The shooter, now 20, is serving a life sentence. While privacy experts oppose the bill requiring TikTok's Chinese owner to sell, many of them like what they see in at least one part of the legislation. That part of the bill gives TikTok users the ability to export their data from the popular video app, a term called portability. The problem is that it kicks in only if the app's owner, ByteDance, decides not to divest, leaving the app open to a ban. Experts say giving users the ability to download their data and go to a different platform has huge potential.
Sometimes people you get captive in a service because you become established there. You either have followers or you have a community there. And when you can't move that community with you to another service, it becomes difficult to leave, even if you're really, really unhappy with the service, either because of its editorial policy or maybe because of its data privacy practices.
Now, TikTok is launching a similar feature to comply with new European rules intended to rein in big tech market dominance. Platforms have fought for years in hopes of keeping users tied into their network. Congressional leaders formally announcing a deal to keep the rest of the government funded throughout the fiscal year. House Speaker Mike Johnson says House and Senate committees have started drafting the text of the bill, saying it would be released and considered by the full House and Senate as soon as it's ready. Congress has until the end of the day Friday to pass the deal. Funding for the Department of Homeland Security had been a major obstacle in negotiations. Well, still to come, it's a common term now, the Great Divorce, for those who divorce later in life.
What we all need to know now when it comes to emotional healing, it is just ahead.
And how incorrect information on your credit report can have devastating financial impacts.
Breaking news coming out of Troy right now. A large police investigation underway as we speak in Troy. According to Troy police, they are conducting the investigation on 8th Street right near the Collar City Bridge.
Now let's go ahead and take a live look. You can see an active scene there. We do have a crew on the scene there right now. Police tell us there is a helicopter in the area assisting in their efforts. They also say this is in connection to a long-term investigation into an earlier incident. As we learn more, we will update you both on air and online. New research on divorce later in life shows it's costly both emotionally and financially.
Our medical reporter Liz Bonas shares what counselors say may help in healing.
Hey there, hello to you.
The CDC warning doctors about an uptick in measles cases. In a little more than 3 months, the number of measles cases in the U.S., 58 as of Thursday, equals all of the U.S. cases last year. Nearly all of them are linked to international travel and involve children a year or older who haven't received their measles, mumps vaccinations. 17 states reporting cases this year, with outbreaks in Florida and Philadelphia.
Rating into the 50s by Tuesday.
Bundle up time for me.
Yeah,
again.
back to winter. Tonight's the first night of spring. So
I know.
Hard to believe.
I know. Steve, thank you. Well, coming up at 6 tonight on CBS 6.
It's a crisis in the classroom. Governor Hochul's proposal to cut school aid and its effect on rural districts. Also the push for restoration.
Plus, women in New York can now buy birth control without a prescription. What this means for reproductive rights in the state.
A credit score can determine whether you can get a loan for a home, a car, or a credit card. It can also impact the interest rate on the loan.
But many Americans say their credit reports contain mistakes, and in some cases, the financial impacts can be devastating. Christian Benavides reports.
A few years ago,
Satisfying your sweet tooth with chocolate is getting more expensive. A recent report from Wells Fargo found dwindling supply around the world is causing cocoa prices to skyrocket. Part of those supply issues have to do with climate, including tree diseases brought on by heavier rainfall. Cocoa tree farmers in West Africa also dealing with dry temperatures and extreme winds from this year's El Nino. The price for cocoa has more than doubled over the past year.
Most brackets are busted
Yeah, a
fairly
little
quickly.
silver lining there, I
Yeah,
suppose.
very little. But still to come tonight, a crisis in the classroom.
Governor Hochul's proposal to cut school aid, its impact on rural districts, and the push for restoration.